Good morning, friends. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's a good day. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful sunny day.
Oh, it's a nice day.
know.
I'm loving spring break.
Yeah.
And that's where Chris is off to with his family. He's enjoying a week of time away. And we get to be here.
Yeah.
We're hanging out.
Yeah.
We are looking back, and we're coming up empty.
Good. I like it. All right. Have a great week.
But that's the funny thing that I'm enjoying about this series is like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Nothing. We're going to talk about empty,
Yep.
right? And it's a really funny, interesting paradox in this whole series. And that's also kind of the point, I think, because if I was to come to Easter, or if I was to come just to my relationship with Christ and say, okay, I got this and this and this and this and this. Okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready for this relationship, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, would you categorize yourself as having grown up in the church?
Yes.
Okay, and would you say that you've been a Christian for a very long time?
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you think and realize not everybody goes to church? Was that a weird realization for you at one point?
No, it wasn't, because I grew up in a pretty in a culture that was like, we got to protect ourselves kind of thing,
Yeah.
like pretty and so it was obvious that there was other people that didn't, so much so that I grew up in a Christian school, all the way up to grade 6, and I was home taught in grade 7.
At the deep end.
Yeah, oh yeah. So then when I went to grade 8, I went to public school. I was scared, so scared that they were gonna give me drugs or actually stick me with a needle with drugs, that I didn't go into the bathroom for probably at least a couple weeks, until I realized, not everybody is like what I was told.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Preconceived notions.
Yeah. So you're told in the Christian school that I grew up in, the environment that I went up, we have to be on guard against all the devil's schemes and all those bad people out there. And it was a very us versus them culture, which was toxic. It wasn't good, We should, as Christians, realize that we're all prone to that evil that's around and the devil is throwing at us, but we love the people, but I didn't have that sense,
So I had a similar kind of...
Did you?
Maybe not in that sense of fear, but almost more like everybody that I knew for the first little while was like, all my friends go to church.
Okay.
We just had this connection and all these people.
Yeah.
And then getting to school, and then you're like, oh, I didn't expect that.
So when did that happen to you? Was that
I think it was
grade 1 or?
like grade 2-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's when you realized, not everybody goes to church.
But also, as the church kid, I was also the instigator on different things too. And I remember
As
having,
the church kid, or as the bad church kid? What do you mean?
as the rambunctious kid who could not,
Yeah.
And with 3 older brothers, and I just felt the need to just push everybody's buttons.
Okay.
So, but as I grew, I think we're all in on church. We had this whole family tradition, generations of family that grew up in the church. That actually became part of my testimony, because when I was at camp in grade 12, I was a counselor, and they're like, okay, you got to come up with a testimony. And I had all these other friends who were like, oh, I did all these bad things, and then I turned to Jesus, and I'm all good. And I got frustrated because I'm like, I don't have that story, because I'm like the good kid, other than being right. But then I came across Philippians 3. And then I realized, there it is. That's where my pride and my sinful state is coming from, is that sense of, man, I am so much better than all these other people.
Did you realize that at 12? Age 12?
No, I think I just had that inherent sense of pride. 'Cause like, even with our youth group and stuff like that too, we were from a smaller church, we had a small youth group,
Right.
but we were the true faithful.
Yeah, no, I'm
like,
just
all these
saying, that's
different
pretty
things.
profound for age 12 to recognize.
No,
So
no,
that's what I was wondering.
but where I came to Philippians 3, grade 12.
Grade 12.
Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I said age.
I thought you said age 12, okay.
Grade 12.
Yeah.
Grade 12, I was a camp counselor.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
and so
Wow.
they said, come up with your testimony
Yeah.
to tell these kids,
Huh.
how God
Yeah.
has changed your
Yeah.
life. And it just
Wow.
it spoke to me more than it spoke to
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was concerned that they weren't going to quite get it. So as Jeff, you brought us to this passage in Philippians 3, like it continues to hit me between the eyes of that sense of pride that I bring to my relationship with Christ, of like, man, I got the good stuff, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just so you
Yeah.
know, I'm one of the good ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And not only that, from the tribe of Bessie, I am a pastor and a worship pastor,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And like
right.
all these things that I think are kind of notches in my belt. As you were talking, there was a few things that I was thinking, but one of them was, do you remember that old commercial where it said, "If it's not Scott, it's crap."
Oh yeah, that's a Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not
For some-
Scottish, it's crap.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Saturday Night Live. Okay.
You know what's funny? I actually know a Scottish guy. And he sounds just like that. It's so awesome. Anyways,
Okay.
go ahead, yeah.
So as I'm listening to this service,
Yeah.
and as I'm looking at this passage, and you came to the point of saying something like,
Oh yeah, poop.
you know, if you're looking at all these things, all of those, and all I can hear, if it's not Christ, is crap. And
that's good.
And I think that is a necessary reminder
Yeah.
for me, because I think about all the good things I do.
Yeah.
And like you talked about like your routine, like
Oh yeah.
I think routine is actually
Yeah.
a really important and amazing
Oh,
and self-discipline.
It's so hard because I would tell anybody that you just need but I find myself saying I'm good because I do this,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a daily wrestling match,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
like with my own pride, like you said,
Yeah.
and my own like I can do this, or it's about me, and yeah.
Or even sometimes when we feel like we have those things in our life that like of course we're doing a good thing. We're aiming for Christ. We're aiming to be, like you said, like Scripture says that we were made for good works, right? So we want to press on to all these things. We don't want to just say, doesn't matter. I have Jesus, so it doesn't matter. I can live like a jerk. I don't think that's the point. I think it actually does draw us to that. But yet, it's a constant reminder of how prideful we are of some of our things. We come to God with all these reasons. I think that really plays into what Jesus said of like, what are you looking at? There's many who are going to stand before me one day and say, God, hello,
Yeah.
I did all these things.
Yeah.
And still the point is, that it is Christ's righteousness that makes me good. It's not anything that I do. And that's a tough one, I think, for those of us that sort of grew up in the church. So that's how I kind of wanted to, pull that out.
Yeah, as you're saying that, some thoughts were going through my head of what is the difference between doing the good things to get something, to earn something, to show I'm good, or as a response. And I think even in Paul, you notice that beforehand it was, I'm doing this for me.
Right.
And after, I'm doing this because I love you. Like,
Right.
why wouldn't I, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I think you can start to see people, if they're doing stuff to earn, there's a harshness or it's not like, when you talk to somebody it's just amazing, all the things they're doing.
Right.
And when they're doing it out of the relationship that they have because they're children of the Father, and this is just what I do because I'm His, not because I'm earning anything. That's all set. I have that. not because of anything I did, because of him, but I'm so thankful.
Mm-hmm.
There's a genuine love
Mm-hmm.
that is almost, it just, you talk to these people and they're like, oh, glory to God,
Yeah.
It's
like this long-term faithfulness. It's not like this flash in a pan, right? Because if it was all about earning it, I would do a flash in a pan, doing all these good things, and then I'm tired of it because this is not getting me anywhere, right?
I don't want to do it anymore.
I don't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
And it's that long, steady, slow that doesn't look like it's doing anything.
And it's and it's my pleasure, they're honestly, genuinely, it's my pleasure. I get to do this with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do this for him. Look what he did for me. I'm not so unworthy, right? Like there's this real humbleness and love that exudes, and I think, I don't know, I've been trying to think, what is the difference? How if people, how do they really know? And I think, so what I look for in me is, am I genuinely humble?
Right.
Am I genuinely loving? And when I'm not, gotta confess that and say, God, why not?
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where we come to at the end of all this. Okay, now what? What do we do with that? I think it's that sense of this long-term faithfulness, and the faithfulness that actually says, it's not me saying, I see myself as faithful because I did all these things, but rather what Scripture tells us is, when we are looking forward to that day where he looks at us and says, well done, good and faithful servant, right? It's his rating, I guess you could say. And all of that is based on what Christ has done. And I think the next part behind that too is the humility, but I would also say a consistent reminder of the fact that I am saved by grace. And I was once a sinner, and I have been, right? We constantly forget from the depths of which we have fallen from, and we think, well, I punched my ticket, I'm done. God likes me, and I'm in. And I think we need to be reminded and reminding ourselves continually, and that's I think also why we come to communion every month, to just say it's not to make ourselves feel like junk. That's not the point of the table. The point is actually to say, come and die. Come and die to yourself and come be alive in me, because I am alive on the other side of this death, right? Yeah. And I think if we don't remind ourselves of these things, it's very easy for us to actually point the finger at people who don't know, and to say, man, you're so far gone. Look at how far along I am, right? And so I think a lot of it has to do with pride and humility and all of that. So
definitely,
I hope you are challenged. And Jeff, I really love that word picture that you had us just holding that and actually listen to that thing hitting the floor. There was extreme power in that, in hearing that weight clunk, and that I can just accept Christ with open hands, right?
Quite a release. The Pilgrim's Progress, they talk about taking off the backpack, right? Yeah.
How beautiful that is. And so, church, hopefully you are continuing to walk along with us. This coming Sunday is Palm Sunday, and we're going to be celebrating in wonderful ways, continuing to come empty so that we can be filled with Christ, with this joy of Easter, and then, Easter Sunday. But what happens before then, Jeff?
Before Easter is Good Friday, and Good Friday is not this Friday, not tomorrow, but the next week at 10 a.m. We are all invited to Emmanuel Church. Come early so you can make sure to find a spot in there, and it's a great service where all of the pastors are involved in some way in helping plan, but in helping be a part of, and we sing some great songs. It's really cool. So
it's a lot of fun. There is also a kids program coming together that's getting worked out as we speak, so stay tuned for that. And that's that Friday, and then 2 days later is Easter Sunday, and then at that point then we can say He is risen, He's alive, yay!
Yeah.
Even though it happens today, but you know.
It happens today? What do you mean?
Well, right now.
Yeah, he's always alive. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
alive.
okay.
He's always alive.
I get it. Yeah.
Because there's a song that we're going to sing that, here's a little teaser.
Okay.
I changed the words on,
Oh.
and it says, "The tomb is empty still." Huh? Okay. So that's the April 5th. We invite you to invite others and to just come celebrate with that. A week later is an exciting Sunday as well too. There's lots happening that weekend in the service, but be looking for the fact that after the service we are gathering in this room for soup and a bun and just an opportunity to fellowship. And so if you are able to make soup, please talk to me or to Barb Van Steven. We would appreciate that. And then if you're able to help as well too, please talk to me. I know that there's a few that had just made it. So if you haven't made it in a little while, please let me know. It's a joy to have so many different varieties and different people being a part of that. But what also is happening now?
Yeah, so right afterwards.
On that same Sunday.
On the same Sunday, so
After the soup.
So come to the gathering, come here for soup, and then right after that, maybe even before we even wrap up, but Pastor Chris and the Romania team that's preparing to go over to Romania in the summer, we'll be doing a dessert auction fundraiser. So come with whatever you'd like, however you'd like to help that team, and you can pay a lot of money for us, for a cake, and be joyful that you got to help the team. But anyways, they do it fundraisers or auction style, so you can just auction and donate in a fun way to the mission team. So yeah.
Yeah, so lots of stuff happening. You can be looking forward to those things. There's also stuff happening down at Green Bay that weekend that we can share with you about later. But thank you for being with us, and thank you for continuing to come with open hands as we were kind of challenged on this as well too, that Christ is sufficient for us. He's all we need, and we need to be filled with Him. Blessings on you. Have a wonderful week.